Good morning. I'm Mike Reed, Operations Section Chief Trainee for Rocky Mountain Team 1, and this is your operational update for August. August is here. We are preparing for, we have hotter and drier weather coming in, so we are planning for that accordingly and working the best we can to secure what we have. So starting up in Branch 8 on the Tire Mountain Fire, we still have resources that are up on that fire, continuing to reinforce those lines, and we're thinking by end of shift today that we'll be able to show that contained. We're feeling really good about that. Moving on to McKinley. McKinley also still has some resources on it. We're a couple days out from maybe seeing some containment on that, but they're making really good progress. We did have that one slop to the south a couple days ago, but everything is looking pretty secure at this point. And we continue to just ensure that reinforce and ensure those lines are going to stay in place. Moving on to chalk, starting in Kilo Kilo. So Kilo Kilo has completed all this burn in here, and they're working on prepping some line up towards the division break with Tango Tango. Everything is going well. We still have resources that are securing the line and ensure that what's in place will continue to hold. So in Tango Tango, we continue with all the prep that's done on this northern end here. There's a little bit left with the Kilo Kilo break, and we hope to complete that within the next day or two. With the firing that we had proposed in reevaluating and looking at the conditions, we opted not to fire at this time. I'm not going to say that it's not in the future, but for now we're not going to fire. And then lastly, down in Alpha Alpha, they also have all their line prep for possible future firing, but again, not planned at this time. That line is all in place and plumbed as well. So if we do have to fire, we have a good opportunity and good probability of success there. Moving down into Branch 12. So I'll start with the Wilderness Fires. 217 fire, which is contained, still has 6 jumpers on it, and we do anticipate that they're only going to be there for one or two more shifts, and then we'll be putting that into a monitor status. And then the 208 fire, which is unstaffed. Again, as you can see, the perimeter on that is just not grown. It's all hung up in those rocks and is really not wanting to move out of there at all. There's a little consuming going on interior, but not much activity. Moving into Whiskey Whiskey on the Moss Mountain. So their line is prepped and in place from Division Romeo Romeo, and they're currently working down the 23 road. Hopefully tying in with the division break here in the near future. Romeo Romeo does have their line in place, and it's also plumbed. And they have done a little burning up here on the division break, and the plan is to eventually, as opportunity exists and the potential is there, is to bring that fire all the way down to the lake. Sierra is also got her line in place all the way down to the division break. They're still doing a little masticating in here, but most of the equipment now is turned and is headed west towards the Papa break. And in Papa, so they've been working prepping line along this line here, and they're getting pretty close to the division break. There's still a few days of work in there, but they're making good progress. The one thing I do have to mention is, so with the firing that he has done in here, we did have that one spot fire in here that turned out to be about 45 acres. We did throw a bunch of resources at it. They did a really great job, caught it, and are in the process of mopping that up. And the contingency group down here on the SPI lands is also looking at putting in some contingency line just north of the SPI property with the forest boundary. So they're still doing a little scouting in there, but also they have some equipment in there improving some of the existing lines that are there. And that's the operational update, August 1st.